If you or a loved one are struggling with type 2 diabetes, you should visit the link in the description below. This clinically proven, drug-free program lowers blood sugar to a normal level and can completely reverse type 2 diabetes within just a few weeks. Here's today's video.
The question: 70 of my extended family has diabetes. How do I avoid diabetes? Answer by Ron Hunter. People do not realize how big of an issue fat cells play in the diabetes equation. So, you really want to have a lower percentage of body fat. It would be nice if you could pick and choose where your fat is located, but that's not really possible. Suffice it to say that diet is extremely important. However, you do it. Do you want to reduce the amount of fat in your body? Type 2 diabetics have a related problem: too much insulin. This is a problem in a number of ways. First of all, it tends to increase levels of fat. Secondly, it tends to make the places where insulin is supposed to work become resistant to the signaling of insulin. This is where low carb comes in for diabetics. Fats in your diet have very little impact on insulin levels. Proteins have a moderate insulin response, but other factors tend to moderate this impact. Most of the carbohydrates people eat are quickly resolved by the body to glucose, and your body will produce lots and lots of insulin to try to reduce those glucose levels. Many people now say that type 2 diabetes is a disease of carbohydrate intolerance. The final method to avoid diabetes relates again to insulin. People with a family history of diabetes need to exercise. Exercise works at the muscular level with insulin to allow glucose to leave the blood and enter muscle cells. By clearing glucose into the muscles, the body produces less insulin in response to the high levels of circulating glucose in the blood. So, exercise is a bit of a one-two punch. It lowers glucose, but also helps lower insulin and insulin resistance. I have lived this experience. The men in my family developed diabetes in their 20s. I was able to push this off until close to 40 by keeping my fat levels in check. However, my diet was too high in carbohydrate and the diabetes kept getting worse and worse. Through low carb and exercise, I am off injected insulin, and provided I do both diet and exercise, I can see normal blood sugar levels. Answer by Zoe Bremer. I take that to mean type 2 diabetes. There's a 90% chance that you'll avoid it by being physically active and keeping your BMI to around 20. Don't let anyone tell you that a BMI of 25 is safe. It isn't. All the consultants for whom I worked in the diabetes unit said that the commonly quoted figure is too high. Unless you're extremely well muscled, which distorts your BMI, in which case, your body fat will be very low. A BMI of 18-22 is the correct figure. Only 10% of type 2 diabetes occurs for no obvious reason in people who are otherwise fit and active with a low body weight. Eat well and get plenty of exercise. That doesn't mean spending a fortune on gym membership. It means not driving when you could walk somewhere, and it means having at least a couple of hobbies that keep you active, e.g., hiking, cycling, riding, dancing or swimming. Answer by John Shore. Here is what I recommend. You can print this and post it on your mirror or fridge. You can also read my answer about reversing type 2 diabetes. John Shore's answer to how do I get rid of diabetes? It requires good lifestyle choices to prevent or reverse type 2 diabetes. It is not always easy. We are surrounded with sweets and carbs. Almost every food in the supermarket has some sugar in it in most countries. We are inundated with advertising for sugary drinks. It takes a lot of discipline to ignore all that propaganda and to eat a healthy diet, as well as getting enough exercise, sleep and meditation. But you can do it. Also, share this information with your relatives. Maybe you can all work together to heal and prevent this disease.